and today we are going to make homemade bagels that happen to also be vegan. So I'm really broke this week, and I just want to tell you that if you guys have some of this laying around, I always have this laying around. That way I can make things like bagels and pretzels and cinnamon rolls and bread, and whenever you're broke, just whip out the flour, whip out some yeast, and let's make some shit. Also, you guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make sure you do that. Let's get started. First thing we need to do is bloom our yeast. So I have half a cup of warm water, and as per usual, if you saw my pretzel and cinnamon roll videos, do not let it be hot, you guys. You will kill the fuck out of your yeast if it's hot. So it needs to be warm, but not hot. And then we're gonna add a packet of active dry yeast. You guys, this shit's like 50 cents tops, like 30 to 50 cents at the grocery store. So you can make that shit happen. And then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. This is what our yeast is going to feed off of, and it's going to help bloom. So we're just gonna stir this up real quick, and we're gonna let this hang out for about 5 minutes until it becomes nice and frothy. You guys, we've been frothed. Our yeast has officially bloomed. So in here I have 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and to that I added 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So we're gonna put that all in there, and then we're gonna mix this up. Now, this is certainly just like with my pretzel recipe. If you haven't seen that, check that out. We could do this on our KitchenAid, but I want to show you how to do it by hand. So we also have 3/4 cup of water. I'm not going to put it all in there quite yet, depending on the humidity. So it's been raining today, so we have a little bit of a different humidity situation. So we want to make sure that we don't make it too wet, because we don't want it too sticky. But it looks like I'm going to have to add a little bit more. Okay. So this you would do on your dough hook in the KitchenAid, and you would just kind of let this go for about 10 minutes, and then it should be nice and smooth. So instead, we're gonna knead it for that long, and then we're gonna have our nice, delicious bagel dough. We're just gonna turn out our dough because we're not doing this on our KitchenAid. So we're gonna turn this out, and we're gonna continue mixing by kneading, because a spoon only gets you so far when it comes to bread dough, right? And then we're gonna pick up a little bit of this extra flour just to make sure it's not sticky. We don't want a sticky dough. This is a different dough than our pretzel dough. This is gonna be a firmer dough. This is going to be a less sticky dough, a nice and smooth dough. So let's get to kneading. Get to a point in kneading where you can start to feel the dough become a lot smoother, and that's what you're looking for. Now, I'm just showing you how to make plain, regular ass bagels just as a basic recipe, but you can always add like cinnamon. You can make like cinnamon raisin. You can make like sun-dried tomato. You could make onion. If you're a vegetarian, you could do like Asiago cheese. But like, I wish I could explain to you how this feels. Like it feels smoother, and that, my friends, is how I know it's done. So we're just gonna form this into a ball, and good news is, if you do this by hand, then you don't have to do a workout, because holy shit is this a workout in and of itself. That's why I like using the KitchenAid, but you can certainly do this by hand and forego your arm workout. We're gonna cover this up in our bowl, put it in a warm area, and let it rise for about an hour before we go any further. As you can see, our dough has risen very nicely, and it's been, about an hour. So we're gonna take this saran wrap off, and then we're gonna punch it. This is like my favorite part. Just punch it down. Whoa! Oh my God, I'm losing my camera. Knocked my camera over on that punch. Look at that. Just fucking punch it down. Give it a little punch. Boom! And then we're gonna let this rest another 10 minutes. So while this is going, we got our oven preheated to 425. We're gonna grease a baking sheet, and we're gonna get a pot of water boiling on a gentle boil. We're not gonna do baking soda like we did with our pretzels. So it's the same kind of process, but a little bit different for our bagels versus our pretzels. Oh my God. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we're gonna turn out our dough. Oh, y'all, this looks good. Okay, so we're gonna I just love the way, I love playing with dough. Like, it feels fantastic. So we're gonna cut this into 8 equal parts. So we'll cut it in half. Should have just used a knife. And then, oh, we'll cut this in half. And then we'll cut these in half. Okay, so we have 8 equal parts of dough. So we're just gonna, let's move these out of the way. And we're gonna take one, and what we wanna do is we wanna roll it into a tight ball. So if you kind of like put it in your, I don't know, like cup your hand around it, and then you don't wanna put pressure on it like super hard. You just kind of wanna roll it like this, and it'll roll around into your ball. Okay, then we take our thumb and we poke it through the center. Ooh, and then we just kind of want to take this and like stretch it out. Stretch it out into a bagel, right? We gotta have a bagel shape. Just stretch it out, just stretch it out. Just a little stretching. Whoa. I feel like if you just do this, I mean, that kind of works, I feel like. Okay, so again, you got your ball here. Bagel ball, you got your bagel ball. Take your thumb, shove it in the middle, poke your hole, and then you just kind of like stretch it out. Stretch it out. Nice and gentle. You don't want to break it. Just doing a little stretching. Like stretch and move. 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 Keep it moving. Always keep it moving. Okay. And then you have like your bagel shape. I'm not a professional. I just like playing in dough. I can't help it. It's so fun. Okay, so we just have regular plain water boiling here, and we have, well, on a gentle boil. It's not like getting crazy. And we're going to take our bagel, and we can't fit too many in at one time. But we're just, sorry, bear with me, you guys. I'm trying to like hold this and do this at the same time. I think I can fit 1, 2, let's just do 3. Oh, we could do half. That's good. Okay. So we're going to let those boil for about 2 minutes. And after about 1 minute, we're going to flip them over. We're going to use the handle of our spoon to flip them over and make sure that we're getting them boiled on both sides. Boiling our bagels like this is kind of the same thing with our pretzels. This helps give it that chewier texture, and it helps it brown better on top. So let's see. I think we're at almost 2 minutes here. And then we're going to just put them on our greased baking sheet. And then we're going to bake them on a 425-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes until they're nice and golden brown. You guys, we did it. We made some bagels and they're vegan. So listen, can you hear? Can you hear that? Like, it's like nice and like, I'm like trying to get it in the microphone. So it's nice and hard and crunchy on the outside, and then on the inside, you guys, nice and fluffy. Okay, so I haven't actually tried it yet. Haven't toasted it, haven't nothing. Oh. There's something about carbs. There's something about fresh, homemade, baked. I'm gonna spit a little bit. Oh, fresh bread, bagels, pretzels. Oh, If you haven't seen, I keep mentioning my pretzel recipe. If you haven't seen my homemade pretzels, head on over to my channel and make sure you subscribe and make sure you watch that video. Again, you guys subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss. I put out new recipe videos 2 times a week, usually Wednesdays and Saturdays. Look, I'm sorry. Sometimes I can't always get them out that specific day. And then, as always, a full written recipe will be on midnightmunchiesandmore.com. You can print that out. You can screenshot that, whatever you need. And thanks for joining me today for these bagels for my Super Broke Week video. And there'll be another one coming out this weekend. I'll see you next time.